The P0160 code indicates your car's computer, the engine control module, or ECM, isn't detecting activity from the Bank 2 Sensor 2 oxygen sensor. This sensor is located after the catalytic converter on the side of the engine with cylinder 2. It monitors how well the converter cleans the exhaust. No activity means the sensor isn't sending expected voltage signals. This can impact fuel efficiency and emissions. A common symptom is an illuminated check engine light. The most obvious symptom of a P60 code is the check engine light appearing on your dashboard. This warning indicates a problem with the oxygen sensor circuit. You might notice a significant drop in fuel economy, typically 10 to 20%, as the engine struggles to maintain optimal air-fuel ratios. Rough idling is another common symptom, where the engine runs unevenly at idle speeds due to improper sensor feedback. Your vehicle may hesitate or stumble when accelerating, as the faulty oxygen sensor disrupts the engine's timing and fuel delivery. The vehicle may fail emissions testing, as the malfunctioning oxygen sensor affects the exhaust system's ability to meet environmental standards. In severe, untreated cases, a faulty oxygen sensor can lead to damage of the catalytic converter, resulting in expensive repairs if not addressed promptly. These symptoms stem from the oxygen sensor circuit not functioning properly, disrupting communication between the sensor, engine control module, and vehicle systems. The P0160 code typically results from several common causes that affect the oxygen sensor circuit. Most often, the oxygen sensor itself is faulty. Aging sensors, or those contaminated with substances like antifreeze or silicone, can fail to send proper signals. Wiring issues are another common culprit. Corrosion from moisture, electrical shorts, or physical breaks in the sensor wiring harness can interrupt the signal. Exhaust leaks located before the sensor can introduce false air readings, causing the sensor to detect incorrect oxygen levels. Less commonly, software glitches in the engine control module can cause false readings, though this is rare and usually requires professional diagnosis. To resolve P0160, it's essential to diagnose the exact cause through testing before attempting any repairs. The first diagnostic step is to use an OBD2 scanner to confirm the P0160 code. Connect the scanner to your vehicle's OBD2 port and retrieve the trouble codes. Next, visually inspect the oxygen sensor and its wiring for any obvious damage, such as corrosion, cuts, or loose connections. Finally, check for exhaust leaks near the sensor by listening for hissing sounds. Inspect the exhaust system for cracks or loose connections that could cause leaks. With the engine running, use a multimeter to test the sensor's voltage. It should fluctuate between 0.1 and 0.9 volts. No fluctuation or a flat line indicates a problem. Advanced diagnostics involve using an oscilloscope to analyze the sensor's waveform for irregularities. When fixing wiring issues, first inspect the wiring harness for damage, such as corrosion, breaks, or exposure. If wiring is damaged, repair the affected sections by splicing or fully replace the harness. Use proper electrical tape and connectors. For corroded connectors, use electrical contact cleaner like WD-40 to remove buildup. Spray and wipe clean, then reassemble. Ensure all connections are tight and secure. The wiring harness away from heat sources and moving parts using retainer clips. Remember that faulty wiring can cause symptoms that appear to be a bad oxygen sensor, so always check wiring first. When replacing the oxygen sensor, first disconnect the electrical connector from the old sensor. Gently pull apart the connector to avoid damaging the wires. Next, use a special oxygen sensor socket to unscrew the sensor from the exhaust pipe. This socket has a slot for the wires and prevents damage. Apply anti-seize compound to the threads if needed. Install the new oxygen sensor by hand tightening first, then use the socket to tighten to the manufacturer's torque specification, typically 22 to 25 foot-pounds. Do not over-tighten to avoid damage. Reconnect the electrical connector securely. Then, use an OBD2 scanner to clear the P0160 diagnostic trouble code and reset the engine control module. Test drive the vehicle to ensure the check engine light stays off. For long-term reliability, choose a premium replacement sensor that meets OEM specifications. Prevention and long-term maintenance are crucial for avoiding P0160 issues. Regularly inspect your car's exhaust system for leaks to catch problems early. Use quality fuel and avoid additives that can contaminate the oxygen sensors, as these can interfere with proper sensor function. Consider proactive sensor monitoring and replacement at recommended intervals, typically every 60,000 to 100,000 miles. This proactive approach helps prevent costly catalytic converter damage, saving you time and money in the long run.